Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'll talk about what exactly are variables and data types theoretically as well as practically, how you can use them. So let's get into the video. So whenever we think or talk about any kind of program, the very basic thing we do is process the data, right? So suppose we have two data set, number and the string. We haven't processed it. For example, we have this program and we need this number to process it. And in order to use it, before processing the data, first we have to keep the data in program, right? And to do that, we will require space in memory. That space in memory is nothing but your variable. Your variable is like a container where you will store the value. We can store numbers in this memory and then we can process it further. We can also store any character. Now understand this. Whenever we need to store the data in variable, we have to define what type of data we are storing it in. For example, this is number, right? So the type will be integer. If you will try to store the name Jyoti inside int variable, then Java will not allow you. To do that, you have to use string data type. In short, what is data type? Data type is type of data which would be stored in a variable. Same about characters or words, there is type called as string data type. So every variable has type and that type is nothing but data type. And there is many more to discuss in further part about variable and data type. We will see it step by step. For now, this is the basic concept for you to get the idea. Okay, so now we'll quickly get into the variable part and see how you can use them practically. So here I'm using Eclipse as my IDE and I have created this class as hello, and we have defined the value as a variable and it has integer as data type. Now what is data type? We'll dig into it further. For now, just know that integer is data type where we can store number in variable. So now I'll show you what happens if you store it as it is, if you print it as it is. So here it is. You will get the variable name if you will print it as it is. So you don't want variable name but the value stored inside the variable, right? So in order to get the value of variable name, you don't have to provide any inverted comma. See what happens if you run this. So here is crash. Why? Because we haven't initialized this variable. Providing value to variable is what we call as initialization of variable. So now we will run this. Here is the output 1. You can initialize it at same place where you have defined it. Also, you can initialize more than one variable at a time with different name, and know that variables are case sensitive. So if we are printing it, you have to give same name as here. If you will do silly mistake like capital V, you will get error. Variables are not only limited to that, but also you can perform many mathematical operations like value 3 is equal to 2 into 2. So if you will run that, you will get 4 as out. You can provide another variable as input to this mathematical operation like value 3 is equal to value into value 2. So here is the output. You should get 2 as the output. And of course, there is huge usage of variables in programming, and variables are flexible in nature, but you have to remember that they are case sensitive. So the very first data type we'll talk about is integer. So moving forward, we will discuss about the int data type, but know that there are multiple flavors of int data type. Here we have defined max as integer data type with value 21475 483647. Huge number, right? This is the largest number an integer can save. If you will make it 48, suppose, the int will not be able to store it. Likewise, we will create the minimum value. For creating any data range, the maximum value and minimum value, there is one term. You just need to do this, add minus sign and increase it by 1. So the minimum range will be -2147483648, and this is the minimum range of the integer data type. So based on these ranges, the memory is allocated to the variables. Now we all know that usually we don't require such huge space, so we can use shorter version of integer, that is short, and again the max value of this data type is 32767, and also this can store only integer value. It has minimum value as -32768. Likewise, we have another data type which is pretty huge. This is long. The maximum range of this data type is 9223372036854775807. Pretty huge, right? Here you can see the issue. The reason is, in order to use long integer, you have to use L at the end of the value, so that Java knows that this is long integer. Same as the minimum range will be minus and increased by 1. So the another data type we will talk about is byte. The maximum range is 127 and the minimum range is -128. So now we will discuss about the floating point data type. As of now, all of you know that in order to create variable, we have to provide data type to, and you already know when to use int variable. Similarly, if we want to use number with decimal point, we use floating point data type. And there are two types of floating point data type. First is float value and the second is double value. Float is floating point number, which is okay, and double is floating point number with double precision. The space allocated by float value is 32-bit in memory, similar to int, and double occupies 64-bit in memory. Of course, it is more precise. Now friends, in Java, there is more preference given to these data types. Int is preferred whenever we use integer value. Likewise, double is preferred whenever we use double value as data type. So when you code, try to use double, because first is it is more precise. Second, your program will work more faster. Likewise, in integer, use int because it is more preferred as compared to short, long byte data types. Alright, now let's understand what is precision and what exactly the difference between float and double. So let me divide 10 with 6 and run this. And as you can see, the precision in double value is much higher, and if you will count, these are 16 digits. This is the major difference between them. The next data type we'll talk about is Boolean and char. First of all, there is this variable of Boolean data type with value true. So if we will print this, you will get the value as true or false. So the point is, it only contains value true or false. Nothing else you can provide to Boolean data types. This was the short and simple introduction to Boolean. Talking about char data type, you can also pronounce it as char data type. Here we have created char type variable which stores anything between single quote. If you will print, you will get value as simple as that. And using the character data type, you can print any character on console. And yeah, this was it for the variable and data types in Java. I hope you have understood and liked the video. I'll catch you in the next topic. Till then, bye bye, and don't forget to subscribe and comment down your thoughts on this video.